Good evening, everyone. This is Neil with the Dastardly Gentleman, welcoming you to the Dastardly Gentleman podcast. With me, I have Frank. Say hello, Frank.
Good evening.
And tonight, we're just going to bullshit. We're going to talk about... we don't have a specific topic, but we're going to talk about what we've been up to in terms of gaming and whatnot. So, we can let you know a little bit about ourselves. We've been telling you all the time about what our thoughts are on aliens and other shit, but, you know, maybe you want to know about us.
Probably not. Bad!
Probably not. But we're going to tell you anyways. Deal with it. So, Frank, what have you been up to lately? What's your gaming schedule look like?
Well, I raid on Tuesdays and Thursdays in World of Warcraft. You know, and that's been fun. We've been doing the... No, look, you stop. You stop it. Look, it's fun, okay? We have a great group of people. The best people. All the most experienced people. We went over the wall of Emerald Nightmare. And we're through that. Unnormal. We're not as heroic as I was hoping we were going to be yet. But we did just start Trials of Valor, which just came out, I think, was like a week ago. And shit's hard. But I did get to punch Odin in the sack.
Yeah?
You know? Yeah, because he's very tall. He looks like Colossus from the X-Men.
Okay.
You know? But he's not Russian.
Actually, you know, I think I watched that stream.
He's faux Scandinavian.
If you're interested, Frank likes to stream the raids for World of Warcraft. It's not exactly the funnest thing to watch, but...
Dull as dishwater. But, I mean, if you want to see the raids and see how to win...
Sometimes he says funny stuff.
I mean, objectively funny. If you want to talk about bad dragon dildos for a while, like, you know, that's pretty funny.
Oh my god, 2 podcasts in a row with this shit.
Look, it's never going to stop. Look, on order, I've got bad dragon dildos, and I've got a whole box full of Chinese Overwatch body pillows coming. It's going to be freaky in my fucking closet, man.
This guy is filling up his fucking apartment with all the swag, yet he can't buy a green screen.
Nope. Otherwise, how are you guys going to see all my swag?
Right? That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm just going to get like a shelf. I'm going to shelf right here. I'm just going to line up all my bad dragon dildos on it. And that's the end of the podcast, folks.
Yeah, we're shutting it down.
Wrap up this channel. No more, because I have a horse cocking behind me.
Weird.
There's a lot of games that just came out that I want to buy, though. Like, OG and I were talking about Tyranny, which is supposed to be really good. It's made by the same guys who did Obsidian. It's in the same world of Pillars of Eternity. It's made by Obsidian. It's published by Paradox. And I'm like, both of these companies are amazing. So I'm hoping that this could be like a fantastic love child of Neverwinter Nights style RPG. I won't do a Let's Play on it because according to OG, there's just a ton of text. And the last time I had a ton of text game, I blew my throat out for like a week trying to give everybody voices.
What game was it?
Man, the Coma. Oh, no, actually it was Undertale.
Yeah,
it was Undertale because I gave Papyrus the Randy Savage voice, and I didn't realize he was going to be around that long.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that.
Because like by the end of like episode 5, I was like, yeah, I don't know what to do anymore. And then Papyrus shows up again. I'm like, oh no, he gets a regular voice. I'm just gonna read it. I played Battlefield 1, and I made you some stuff on that just to express my thoughts because when I played it, my thoughts were not entirely positive, and it was a lot of, I was afraid this was going to happen, you know?
Do tell. What do you mean?
Well, first of all, it's World War I and everyone has a fucking machine gun. I mean, like, the tanks have, like, you know, a massive main gun, and then they've got side guns, and I'm like, nah, not so much. You know, and, like, they made a big show in, like, all the pre-release trailers of bolt action and, you know, bayonets and trench fighting, and then, like, you play the multiplayer, and there's none of that. You got guys running around with the water-cooled Browning trench guns which take like 3 people to operate. You got one guy just Rambo in a full sprint, keeping up with everybody else, and then like he just like pulls it out. Nah, it wouldn't happen. Sorry. It's just dumb. There's a lot of it that's dumb. Like you got like your medic who's running around. He's got a big fucking syringe of opium, and that's what he uses to revive people. Like, look, I know people that would be shot and bleeding on the ground and would see that needle and be like, no, I'll just die. It's fine. Just get the fucking needle away from me. But no, that's what they use to revive. They shoot you up full of heroin.
That's ridiculous. That's a good way to die comfortably.
Yeah, you're on the ground. You're like, oh, they shoot you up. You're like, oh.
This is nice.
It's like getting a glob job from an angel.
If you do come out of it, then you're just addicted to opium.
You're like, that's their plan, Neil. That's how they managed to get you to do all the crazy bayonet charges. They shoot you up full of heroin. They're like, that guy has more. You can't stop him. He gets shot like 8 times. But no, like your medics have machine pistols, and I'm like, where the fuck did they get that? It's like I played a game. The worst part about it was the History Channel's Civil War game, and in the very first level, it was Antietam, and you had they did the muzzle loaders. Yeah. And it was great because it was all super realistic, and like there's a lot of hand-to-hand fighting, and it was very period authentic. And then in the next battle, they're like, we're gonna give you this experimental Henry repeating carbine, and I'm like, no, what? Like your basic infantry, and then for some reason everybody has cartridge rifles, like the brass rounds, and like you're like pouch. I'm like, no one had this. No one had this. What is happening? And then like they started getting the push down feed, Gatling guns, like in like the second battle of Manassas, and I'm like, no, they weren't around. What's happening? This is a History Channel game. The History Channel has its fucking logo on it. So that's how I feel about this World War One game, because it's like everybody should be having the bolt action rifles. I was really hoping that going back to World War One, you'd see like the biplanes flying overhead, and you get the tanks that were basically garbage except for protecting infantry going from point A to point B, crossing the trench, shit like that. And then everybody has bolt action rifles that are like really accurate, but like they're slow as shit. Then a bunch of fighting, because they had videos of guys fighting with shovels and maces and knives, and I'm like, yeah, this could be fucking intense. None of it happens.
That sucks, man.
During the multiplayer, like there's so much gunfire going on. It's run and gun like normal. I mean, like you see guys with an automatic, a Browning automatic will be running, jump, and then lay flat in midair, and then start shooting everybody behind him. And I was like, what is he? Some kind of fucking like gymnast Jesus? He can do that kind of shit. It's unbelievable. I mean, graphically, it's beautiful, but it suffers from almost the identical problems of Battlefront, where it's just like there's just virtually no substance to it to me. But at the same time, I don't know why I had expectations, but I did, mostly because of the subject material is like versus Star Wars. It is based in actual reality, and they were so proud of themselves and how real they were going to make it, and none of that was achieved. To me, like none of it. Just the fact that like literally everyone has an assault rifle, it just became another military shooter. You might as well, because at least playing Battlefield 4, it makes sense where everyone has like an M4 that you can just spray and pray, or an M60 or whatever.
Yeah.
In this, like they got Germans running around with an MP40, and you're like, that's a little out of date. I mean, that's a little way from the future.
Right.
This is like another 30 years and you're going to see that kind of thing. Like the automatic machine guns, they were around at the end of the war. But I mean, like, why would you take the entirety of the war and crush it into like the last 6 months? It would have been really neat, especially like in the campaign, if they went from the very beginning, where they were still doing battle lines and fighting in the open field, to fighting in trenches, to stalemates in trenches, to, doing the blow the whistle and everybody gets up and runs over and you got people getting shredded all around you, and then you've still got click, click, oh, I'm out of ammo. And then you got a bayonet charge and shit like that. I think that'd have been really neat. But you don't. It's just, I don't know. You're fucking John Rambo, and everybody has a machine gun something. I don't like it. I don't like it so far. Maybe if I play it with friends, if I play it with friends, and I just kind of, it'll be good. I'm a big stickler where if you're gonna pick something like in a time period, it should be at least close to that time period, and there's nothing that's really that close about it. And I think that's what really kind of upsets me, is that there's almost no difference between this and a World War II game, or this and Modern Warfare, except for that, less lasers and jet planes, and that's really it. I mean, That's really the only difference. I mean, everything else is identical, and the uniforms are almost the same. So I don't know. I'm not hugely impressed by that. Sure. Scott asked me. He says, he said, Frank, have you played Battlefield 1? I said, yeah. And he says, what do you think about it? And I was like, I'm playing Overwatch. I ain't playing that. I feel like that's a pretty good indication of my thoughts on it.
Right.
Yeah. So play Battlefield 1. Getting in on that some Star Citizen. Checking that out. Making sure that the verse is coming along nicely.
Tell us about Star Citizen, Frank. I mean, I know we've kind of touched on it here and there, but tell us about, what Star Citizen entails. I mean, from what I understand, that it's pretty much endless in terms of opportunities and possibilities when it comes to space travel. But let me hear your version on it.
The game itself is just titanic in its scope, where it's a first-person game. You can play it in third person, but it's a first-person game where you are dropped into a universe and you are going to do whatever you want. You can join a corporation, and the economy is entirely player-based. It's entire player economy, but you need to get resources and materials, and you get those from doing mining. They made mining, hauling, freighting, all that other kind of stuff. They're actual jobs. Like, you can buy a mining ship and go out and, exploration is also a job. Like, you actually can have, so it's interesting. I'm sorry. There's so much to talk about. I'm gonna backtrack real quick. I'm just gonna talk about exploration because I find it interesting that a game that people would assume is entirely based on combat would have something as intricate as exploration. So you get your ship, and you outfit it to be an exploration ship. You don't have to have a ton of guns on it, and you fly out and you just kind of pick your direction and go if you want, or you can pick up rumors from other players about I think there might have been something this way. I saw a blip on my radar, and so you go out that direction, you ping stuff, and you find a derelict freighter. And you can salvage the freighter. You can take it apart, and you can get materials from it. Or you can go there, you can find it, say it's like an asteroid belt, and there's the freighter and everything else, and you mark down the location on your map. And you basically tag it for yourself. And then you can go back and sell that information to somebody else. Because there are players that will want that information even though you can't use it. And so they've made it so exploration is actually viable in this game. And there are non-combat jobs. There's manufacturing jobs. There are mining jobs. There are, they made a fucking airliner. You literally pick people up and they hang out in your swank-ass ship with bedrooms and bars, and there are jobs that you can pay people for to be waiters and waitresses and make cocktails and be bartenders on these fucking ships, and they fly you from this habited planet through this really pretty nebula to this habited planet, and then you fuck around there for a while, and then you go back. It's a cruise ship. The non-combat roles I always find define what a massive online game is. Where WoW is basically, if you don't raid or fight or whatever, there's no game for you. Right. You might as well not play it. Just where Lord of the Rings Online has a huge social scene where there's bars and there's music and whatever, but Star Citizen dwarfs it by comparison to the shit that you can do that's non-combat related.
Sounds a lot like Second Life, but in space.
Pretty close. I would actually equate it a lot more to the Star Wars Galaxies, because A, space, B, they do have first-person shooter elements to it. I mean, like, Star Marine is a thing. I mean, like, and the fact that if you're talking to somebody, if you have two ships meet and you're shit-talking to each other for a while, you might not know it, but some of their Marines can leave their ship and then come and get into your ship, and while you're sitting there shit-talking, they can come up and just start killing your crew. Coincidentally, shooting people in a seat is actually really fucking fun. I executed a guy that stood away on my ship. It was glorious. I shot him so hard that his body slid. Actually, like the front of my ship is pointed like that, and then there are the command decks like that. I shot him, he slid out of the seat, and he fell down underneath. And I'm like, just tuck him away. just tuck him away. No one will know. I was playing it with Kyle, and Kyle got super pissed off at me because he was like, I didn't know you were gonna do him like that, because I had my gun, and this is something I didn't think about, shooting a gun in a confined space. You know, I mean, so like this guy's just sitting there because he just walks into our ship and sits down at a command console, like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And he's got a shotgun on his back and a machine gun on his chest, and he's just. And so Kyle takes off, and he's like, you know, we'll get out there, just be ready to do him. So like, you know, like I got out there, I'm standing behind the guy, and I straight up shot him like Lincoln. I got him right behind the ear, and like I shot him 3 times in the back of the head. But again, confined space. So Kyle's just sitting there, and Kyle's like, all right, we're coming out of warp. And before he even said it, and I saw the tag go off, I already had the gun out, and I shot him. It's just. And it was so fucking loud. Like, I shot him and I startled myself because I was like, oh, God. It was great.
That's awesome, especially the sound, like, physics about that. Like, you don't see that in any game, ever.
The game's physics are unique to the engine that they're using, and they've built it from the ground up in order to support Star Citizen. Man, the scope of the game, like I hate to repeatedly use a term like scope, but like I don't know what else to call it, where you can pick up freight, and like they have it set in modules where like if I drop the cargo bay of my ship, like I can carry X amount of space and X amount of weight. So like I can actually really load up my ship and really pack it really well, and then I can take the freight to somewhere else and then land in a spaceport, and then I sell it, and like you actually pick up the containers and out of the ship and deliver them. And there are some ships that have bigger cargo capacity, there's some that have smaller. Mine's one of the smaller ships. So I don't have a lot. I got a 6-person ship. I don't have that much cargo space, but I do have some cargo space. But it's players that determine the value of things. So whenever like I make a trade deal and I go and I deliver it, like I actually have to land and deliver it. And when I say land, it's not like, you know, even back in Galaxies where like you come up to a planet and be like, oh, I'm at Corellia, you know, push button land. You actually have to go through the atmosphere, find the station that you're trying to get to, fly to the station, get permission, put out your landing docks, and actually like carefully land this shit inside the spaceport. And then you have to run through all your permissions, and you have to go through customs, and then you can make the trade deal. So, I mean, like, it is space life simulator. Yeah. It's the best thing I could come with. And you know, the combat is intense. The game is unreasonably good looking. It is super pretty. It's alpha, so it doesn't run super great right now. But
you're pretty.
I'm beautiful. I'm a beautiful. Stop it, I'm blushing.
So that's cool, man. When is Star Citizen coming out?
When it's done. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't even want to like, because they say like, you know, third or fourth quarter 2017. You know, don't rush it. Take your time. You do you, boo boo. Because I don't want you to like be like, man, we got to get this game out. No, you don't. No, you take your sweet time. Yeah, because people freak out because it missed its goals of trying to come out when it was supposed to. This game's fucking enormous. It's only been in development for 4 years. The fact that they're at this point in 4 years is unreasonably good.
So you think that maybe, like, if it doesn't come out in the next couple of years, They might have to redo the engine to keep up with current gen graphics.
No, not even close.
You think it's light years ahead of its time?
I think that as far as the game goes, especially like for like an MMO type, it is beyond the capabilities of most. First of all, it's beyond the capabilities of most PCs to play it anyway. But then you have its competitors, which would be like EVE Online or the hell is that other space one? I can't remember. But even like MMOs like World of Warcraft, there's nothing to compare it to. There's nothing that it would even come close to. It's better looking than Battlefield 1. And Battlefield 1 is one of the most superb looking games that's presently like readily available.
Sure.
So I mean, like, if it takes 2 more years to develop, no. It's still going to be way prettier.
Fair enough.
If it comes out.
If it ever comes.
That's something that you have to keep in mind. It is early access. You have paid for a game that isn't complete. So I mean, it is terrifying at the thought that, like, look, I sunk a lot of money into this game. When I say a lot of money, this ship that I bought was $350. I mean, like, it's expensive. And like, I almost puked whenever I bought it. But I believe in the game, and I believe in the team, and there's a lot of people working on it, and I feel like they've been really transparent in what they've accomplished.
Well, I hope your investment pays off.
Me too. Hey, you gonna play Football Simulator? Football Manager 2017? I'm sorry, football?
Football. No, I'm not gonna do that. I see it on Steam on sale all the time, but I have no interest in soccer.
You're not a big soccer player?
Look, I played a lot of soccer when I was a kid.
I bet.
That's the time to play soccer.
That's true.
When you grow up and you do adult things, you stop playing soccer. You stop playing soccer way before then, actually.
You're like, soccer, butt stuff.
Obviously butt stuff. But no, I played soccer when I was 7. And that was the last time I played it.
You know what just came out? And I want it so bad. And I was actually checking out their Kickstarter before the game came out. But it's called The Dwarves.
Okay.
It's an action turn-based RPG that just came out on Steam. And it's based off of a book. Speaking of which, it's this book. And it just came out. It came out on the 1st. I haven't played it yet, but it looks phenomenal. And I just... Look, Warhammer just came out, and you get to play the dwarf campaign, and they're bearded, and they're filthy, and they're angry, and they're everything that I wanted. And then now you've got dwarves, where all it's about is the dwarves. It's just... Oh my god, my family!
You got a weird obsession with dwarves. In fact,
they're fantastic.
Like, I don't know. This is why we don't play Blood Bowl anymore. Because
I fucked you to death.
Because dwarves are assholes.
Yes, they are. They get some good rolls,
Yeah, every time.
Every time. If I could, I would have cheated, but, I can't.
You didn't need to cheat. For those unaware of what Blood Bowl is, it's basically turn-based football, but
American
with
Hand Egg.
Warhammer characters. And apparently dwarves in that game are very slow. They don't have a whole lot of movement capabilities, but they punch like trucks.
And they have the heaviest armor in the game.
Yeah, not only are they basically impenetrable, but they also hit you with the force of an angry god, like every time.
And what was great is whenever we were playing, everybody picked elves or they picked Skaven. So I gave all my frontliners tackle, which means that any time that any of them came near the outside squares of my dwarves, I could immediately get them. And it was it was a bloodbath. I mean, like, I killed so many fucking players. And in Blood Bowl, people actually can die. You could tackle somebody, and you can hit them hard enough to kill them. And they often did.
Yeah, and they're done. You don't get to use them anymore. They're done. Next game, you have to buy a new person to fill that role.
And you got to raise them from scratch because like they actually gain levels and traits depending on how they played and what you perform, how they performed and what you put into them. So then whenever like my dwarves would come in, like he had RuPaul, and RuPaul was his was it star quarterback or star runner? That was your runner.
No, RuPaul was my receiver, man. Yeah, runner.
Oh, and I remember that I had my one of my biggest frontliners was Al Sharpton. And Al Sharpton tackled RuPaul so hard that he died.
It was like it happened so quick. Like the roll was bam. Oh, you're dead. Oh fuck.
Yeah, it was awful.
that guy was like level 6. He's gone now forever.
And poor fucking Neil, and he's like, because you can choose to re-roll, and so like Neil's like re-roll, and then it gave him double skull dice, so it did him bad all over again. It was awful.
So that's why we don't play that game anymore.
No, Jeremiah had a team of Skaven, and before halftime, I had killed 8 out of the 10 of his people on the field. I killed his he had the super Skaven, the really tall monstrous one.
The troll.
I killed him on turn 2. My slayers got on both sides of him and just
fucking A-framed him.
yeah, they fucking Eiffel Tower there's troll. Yeah.
It's fucking like it's a rat ogre. It's like 2 floors tall, 2 stories tall. And your little 2 stubby dwarves just get on both sides of them and spit roast the motherfucker.
Yeah, right? They're spinning him.
Again, this is why we don't play Blood Bowl anymore.
Fact. Have you seen anything on a game called Maze? It just came out too.
No.
It's a first-person adventure game about what happens when 2 scientists misinterpret a memo from the U.S. government and create sentient corn.
I don't want to know anymore about that game.
Dude,
that sounds retarded.
It's amazing looking. I mean, like this corn is so upset, and one of the scientists looks like a teddy bear. Look, just check it out.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Let me tell you what I've been up to.
Do it.
So, I've been playing a ridiculous amount of Hearthstone lately.
Yeah, Mean Streets of Gadgetstan just came out, didn't it?
Mean Streets of Gadgetstan just came out. It came out December 1st. And basically, the way they did cards this round was... by the way, if you haven't played Hearthstone before, let me tell you what it's about. It's a card game. It's based on Warcraft characters. It's basically a watered-down Magic the Gathering. And it's free to play out the gate. And technically, it's free to play as long as you want it to be. If you start spending money, you might gain an edge. But it doesn't mean you're going to know what to do with those cards. It's just like Magic the Gathering, except for Magic the Gathering is never free.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering is probably just as expensive as a Coke habit.
Yeah.
But Hearthstone, you can play with all basic and common cards for free. You don't have to spend any money on it. And you can probably do relatively okay without spending any money. And you can earn your own money and eventually, earn your own gold in the game. And eventually buy packs and get somewhere. But if you really want to stay up to date, you gotta dump some cash into it. So far, I've dumped about $30 into it. Not too proud of it because I only got 1 legendary out of it, so I'm pretty pissed. But
not too proud of it. I mean, like that's like you're like, well, I'm not too proud of it. I mean, I kind of might have sucked a hobo in a gas station, but it's whatever.
All the top streamers have bought 150 packs, and each pack costs 100 gold, and 100 gold equates to about $1. So they've spent anywhere between $120 to $150 on this new expansion to get all the cards. Yeah, I'm nowhere near that. I'll get there eventually. Fuck it. But anyway, so the Mean Streets of Gadgetan just came out. And the way they've presented it, they started doing multi-class cards. They very subtly kind of dipped into multi-class cards, which, if you ever played Magic the Gathering, you can pick whatever the fuck you want as your deck. You don't have classes. You do what you want, and as long as you have 60 cards in your deck, you can play. Well, in Hearthstone, you have to pick a class, whether it be Warlock, Mage, Priest, whatever. You have to pick a class. You got basic cards or general cards, which any class can choose from, and then you've got your own class cards. And then you've got your hero power, which complements your hero specifically. Now, the whole cool thing about multi-class cards is you get to pick from 2 other classes different cards. Not too much so, but enough to actually sway the tide of the battle. But anyway, so we got 3 gangs are the focus of the Mean Streets of Gadgetan. You got the Cabal, which encompass the Mage, the Priest, and the Warlock. You've got the Jade Lotus, that encompasses Druid, Shaman, and Rogue. And the Grime Street Goons, and that's the Paladin, Hunter, and Warrior. So those grouped together, they all have pretty much the same playstyles in the Mean Streets of Gadgetan. It's interesting. People are still new to this expansion, so people are still formulating strategies and decks. So anytime you play right now, you could literally run into any kind of deck. There's no what they call meta right now. So unless you're like getting mathematical with this shit and planning it out way ahead of time and having all the cards in the expansion, you're going in blind. And you have no idea what you're going to experience. And you're probably going to lose. I've been sitting right around rank 17. And I can't get any further. Because every other deck I play is completely different. I have no idea what to plan for. Last season, I got to rank 9. I've gotten to rank 6 total, like, overall. That's my best. Trying to get that legend. But, you know.
It's too bad you're just not good, you know.
I'm just not good at the game. But I can play this game while I'm sitting on the toilet, so I will continue to play until I get that legend, baby.
I mean, to be fair, I always said Hearthstone was a shit game.
I see what you did there. But it's funny, though, because I was reading Reddit, and when this expansion was coming out, they were showing all the cards and shit, you know. Basically, what Blizzard did was they would give, like, popular streamers, they would give them, like, 1 or 2 cards to debut to show everybody in their stream. Not only was it, you know, a big old boost to their fucking numbers in their stream, but, you know, it debuted the cards. It's such a bullshit move. I mean, it's like, hey.
Yeah, you're just mad it wasn't you.
Look, I know it's not going to be me, but it's like, hey, these guys are already fucking loaded. They get all the audience. Give it to a lesser known.
But then the cards won't get out, you know?
They will. People will flock to that shit. They want to know.
Caw-caw!
But it's funny because all these cards came out and Reddit was just like pissed off. Anybody that mained the rogue class was like, "Oh my god, rogues! They got the shit end of the stick this time." Blah blah blah. All we got was, you know, a coin and this, that, and the other. Like, and honestly, as far as
take this and go fuck yourself.
We didn't
Don't spend it all in one place, asshole.
They literally got a coin. That was a 0 mana cost coin. But they're doing really fucking well from what I could tell. So much bitching. And yet they're probably one of the top 3 classes right now.
Talking about rogues?
Rogues, yeah.
I mean, it kind of sounds like it's geared towards rogues, you know? Mean Streets of Gadgetan. Somebody who's going to cut your purse and then cut your face. It's basically Wayne Brady. You know?
Evil Rain. Wayne Brady.
Rain Brady. It's part of the Warren Beatty family.
Yeah, dude. Also, I've been playing Titanfall 2 a little bit.
How is that? How's that stack up against something as ubiquitously shitty like Battlefield 1?
It is really good. Like, think of have you ever played Mirror's Edge?
Yes.
Think of that combined with your standard first-person shooter. I've only played it for about an hour. I haven't gotten into the whole jumping into a mech and doing stupid amounts of damage thing yet, because I'm playing the campaign. But yeah, you're literally like, you can double jump and you can wall run. So do all that and be able to shoot mid-air while you're like parkouring and shit. It is badass. All the guns have proper amounts of recoil, not stupid recoil like in Call of Duty where it's like fucking you shoot 3 times and you have to completely recenter again. Like when you hit a target, when you hit an enemy, it feels good because you recoil a little bit, but you automatically recentered as you would if you were, I don't know, a trained person in the military. So, bam, he's down. All right, I could aim to the next person. Bam, I'm gonna run and jump off this wall, double jump, and then shoot him while I'm in midair. Bam,
bam,
bam. It is fucking sweet. It's free this weekend. You're probably not gonna, get the opportunity to play it for free by the time this podcast comes out, unless you, already are doing so. But I highly recommend it. It was on sale Black Friday for $40. So was Battlefield 1. I chose it over Battlefield 1 because all the shit that Frank talked. Frank, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. So I chose Titanfall 2, and I am very happy with it. I'm probably going to play a whole lot more of it. It's kind of like I have to balance between that and Overwatch, which I haven't played a whole lot of Overwatch lately.
Which season just started?
Which one game of the year, by the way?
I don't even care about it. I mean, video game award shows are dawdle. They don't mean anything. I mean, like, especially like from what I understand, this particular game show, this particular award game show, was garbage because they're like, it won this, and then but they don't explain why. I mean, like in a medium like video games, it's like you need more than just it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean it's all bullshit.
Yeah. It don't fucking matter.
Frank did suggest that we talk about the Game Awards, and I'm like, people don't give a shit about that.
They care, but it's that, what I wanted to talk about is how meaningless it is.
Well, we could do that in all about 4 minutes.
Yeah. It's awful. You know what? Everyone can have their own video game award show. Maybe we should do video game awards.
Speaking of awards...
Do I get one?
No. Steam was doing its own awards. Basically, you could nominate any game for any award you can think of. 2 of the most popular ones that I could think of were No Man's Sky, winning the award for the biggest scam ever.
Dark.
And the other one was Honey Pop for best game to play one-handed.
Yes! Yes. So good.
I know, right? If you haven't played Honey Pop, it's basically Bejeweled, but with naked chicks and a dating sim involved as well.
Like I haven't heard someone orgasm that hard while playing Candy Crush since the last time I went to a soccer game,
If you like dating sims and you like Bejeweled and you like jerking off.
If you like jerking off and you like Bejeweled, it's not a dating sim.
There's
nothing dating about it. Dating sim implies that you have some kind of like input, being like, I want to say this thing that's going to make her happy or whatever. This is just, I won this game, therefore she had a screaming O in the back of the van. I did this many things on the date, so I got to I got the finger blast her beehole back at the apartment. You know, I mean, like this is not a dating sim. This
No.
is the same as this is like as much of a dating sim as like Debbie Does Dallas was an infomercial for safe sex.
No, you had to remember their details, like their likes and dislikes.
Yeah, okay. She likes let's see, glasses, so therefore books.
Now I just gotta bejeweled the shit out of her.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna 3 greens you so hard. Oh bitch, you're gonna 4 oranges, you're gonna fucking red. Oh, listen, oh yeah, baby, no, you're welcome.
Man, cascade chain. Oh.
Yeah, like, oh, look at it go. Oh.
Hitting that G spot. So anyways, the other game that I've been playing, I'm doing a Let's Play on it, so if you're interested, I'm still getting the bugs out on it to get a solid, solid stream. But Doom. Doom.
Let's sing the Doom song.
I didn't play Doom 3 at all, even though I have it on Steam. I've heard bad things.
Okay, no, it's good now. When it first came out, that game was infuriating because it was super dark. It's supposed to be all like, sci-fi, spoopy, scary. This is the dumbest shit a game developer has ever fucking done. So, it's like they've got guns. The enemies have guns and they're shooting at you and shit like that. Oh my god. You have gun, flashlight, but you can't have them at the same time. So, like, it's pure dark and you're like... And they're like trying to from behind cover, and you got the flashlight, and you got to. I'm like, what is happening?
Why does everybody have cat vision but me?
Yeah.
This Doom is very enjoyable. It actually, you know what? It feels just like the old school Dooms, but current gen. Like, it feels like you're running around, running and gunning, fucking blowing up demons and shit. But in a sense of, you actually have a Y-axis this time. It's not just shoot. You got to jump up and shoot down and like, obviously what real life is like.
Yeah.
But no, it feels really good. It's fun. It's fast. It's gory as shit. And it still pays homage to all the classic Doom shit. I really enjoy it. Watch my Let's Play.
Please.
Please like me. Or play it. We'll go buy it. I don't. The Steam Winter Sale should be coming up pretty soon. I'm sure it'll be on sale again. It's fun, and it's got multiplayer. So, well, that's a podcast, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you liked what you heard or saw, please comment, like, rate, subscribe. Let us know what you're up to. What are you interested in lately? What should we be interested that you're interested in? I don't know what Frank's doing. Go ahead and send us a mail at mail@dastardlygentleman.com. Send us a tweet at dastardlyman. We have an Instagram as well. Jerry manages that. Or hit us up on Facebook or whatever. I mean, we are not hard to find. What do you got to say, Frank?
Did you say to rate us?
Yeah.
Like a 7 out of 10?
Like a 5 out of 7.
What would you rate this podcast at?
12 out of 10, obviously.
I was gonna go 12 out of 5, but I mean, I guess you could be like an underachiever.
Oh, whatever.
That's it.
We'll have a new podcast out pretty soon. But until next time, see you later.
Bye.